Yeah, that's the left minister.
No, no, not
But-
all ministers do it that way. No, our ministers do it that way, but your ministers have done it differently also.
Yeah.
You know, the very fact that first he showed interest and wanted to do something, and it was not us. He said he has money, he can do some innovation, and then things change. What are the poll predictions in terms of right emergence of the anti-South forces, anti-immigrants,
I think the biggest change is the Social Democrats are crashing,
crashing,
and then
left league
left league
Bit of a rise.
bit, but very marginal.
on rise.
Yeah.
So it will at least stay as much as it is there.
And the Greens, I think, quite the same. Then
No, but this Finns party is not, it's losing now.
Yeah.
While it is not, they have not become the biggest like in France.
I think the center part is starting to gain a little bit ground back.
Yeah, but the Conservatives are still number one in the poll. So,
In polls, number one conservative, second center party, third left league, and fourth this True Finns.
I don't know.
True Finns are
True
before
Finns
before
But then I
that.
think that they'll be right, center-right government. There's no way for Social Democrats to be in and Greens and left. They don't really.
They don't like to join.
I mean, they don't need them. I think they will, the three center-right parties will come each other have enough strength. So it will be nice.
So what will be center-right party, centrist party, conservative party, and True Finns? Or
I don't think the True Finns they won't fit into the.
And also they will
government.
be losing. They
so who
less
will be the
radius.
third party?
The Swedish.
Yeah.
So it's enough to have two big parties.
And then they take some other Swedish parties, usually quite
Christian Democrats.
conservative also.
So Greens and Social Democrats will be out, and Left League will also be out. So there will be vibrant, vigorous opposition.
Good friends in opposition. Also,
Yeah.
fine.
That's also very critical. Then they can be more open, give time for difficult issues which are not immediate and dilemmas, those things. So, why I raise this is because SEDED has come to a stage where we have to, between Finland, India group of SEDED at least, and SEDED's larger network, of sister organizations and volunteers and intellectual activist friends. We need to zero in on a couple of systemic issues also, which then link with concrete issues of this long-term struggle, post-growth society. So one is this Bowen Viver thing. So post-growth society, like growth is, there is a global consensus, it's a good thing. So what is the counter consensus? So like Bhutan tried with happiness index.
Yeah.
So one goal is happiness. The other, with so much of poverty in third world, prosperity, but without disparity.
Yeah.
That could be, a minimum of material prosperity has to be there. And then all this, how does it come? The actual struggles for all these things. So is it, like Bolivian concept, living well? Or in our context, culturally, if we were to say it in our language, what is meaning of life and what is meaningful life? And how do you define success? How do you define impact? Those things. Are they not insidious agents of modernity fundamentalism. The way we define success today, the way we define impact, the way we reduce everything to what we call market fundamentalism is actually materialism fundamentalism. So in our philosophical, one of the philosophical traditions, it's all pervasive in different articulations, but one textbook articulation is dharma, arth, kam, moksha. Dharma is ethically bound life. Arth is pursuit of material goals of life. Kam is pleasure, aesthetics, beauty, pursuit of that. And moksha is transcending all these needs. So all these goals have to be done. There is a simultaneity and there is a connectedness. So for each generation, it's our duty to communicate this connectedness to the next generation and to have institutions to resolve tension between these goals. There is a tension, salvation, transcending all this will have a tension in pursuing material goals and indulgences, which, beauty, aesthetics, indulgences. So those tensions have to be understood, institutionally managed, and a strength to the individual and to the communities to transcend, the ability to transcend. So moksha is some kind of, it could be, to speak to the atheists, we could say some kind of social spirituality, ability to empathize with the other, how you define other not as adversary but as part of you. So, and those spiritual capabilities relate to the moksha part. So eventually how you define the post-death life also sometimes concerns with the notion of moksha, and also your this life, this worldly actions. But the concrete of that is how to feel the pain of others, how to define the other, and how to recognize the oneness of this cosmos. That gives us the ability to transcend the various tensions of various pursuits of individuals and communities.
So that's the challenge. I mean, how do you articulate that to a secular society, which is, and it's not only just material.
To secular discourse, there is no secular society. It's a very microscopic and on the margins, even in Europe. So how to penetrate the secular discourse, which is shaping the rest of the society, including those who are not secular, who are believers. If secular means the Indian definition, state not taking partisan stand on religion, then then it's fine. But secular means secularization and leaving away the spiritual, moral, ethical, and salvation issues, transcendenting abilities as extraneous to the secular discourse, law and order issues, governance issues. These are not to be taken into account. So how in a concrete project like SEDET, these things could be woven in. And this post-growth discourse will also, where do we locate? So this is the long-term, where we should have some kind of collective clarity about who stands where vis-a-vis these issues. And then bringing it to a little lower in the not hierarchical significance sense, more concrete level is what are those systemic issues, of violence, of participation, of dignity, of autonomy of self-definition, of knowledge swaraj, of dignity of labor, physical work. So these are those systemic issues for which we have to examine how various institutions are functioning, present days, of economy, of polity, of other education system. So so conceptually, the canvas has to be wholesome, but in practical terms, as a project, it can be only focused on some limited things. So how to do this back and forth thing, not lose the larger picture, not lose the ability to debate on the politics of discourse, and still do concrete things where you can explain to those who are not part of us. To them, explaining every time this civilizational kind of position what we have is no good. They'll, like Hannah was very upset at one point of time. What is this said about? So Marco suggested send Ritu to explain. So you were there, Ruby, when about 7-8 years back Ritu came to explain what is said. You don't remember. So there was almost a crisis in the board and partly in staff.
Well, I think it still remains, of course, it still remains an issue which needs to keep under constant, keep in mind, and how are we conveying and communicating, and in how far are we communicating?
Explode the back.
Yeah, it's a issue always will remain, but that was the crisis point. Oh, we don't understand this. So what is the point in carrying it on? Kind of situation. So the way to explain that kind of situation, I don't know if it has again become that, but normally I didn't sense that